To keep yourself updated, subscribe to IndigoLearn and click the bell icon and download our app OneFin to start learning on the go.
There is something very important that I wanted to share with all of you. I know you all are having a very little time to go through all the webinars and all the other activities conducted by the institute. But obviously, why we teachers are for? To make that work easy for you. So the webinar which was conducted recently by the institute, which was basically focusing on your upcoming examination, highlighted some very important points which would definitely help you for the preparation. These will definitely help you score very well in your coming exams. First, the institute has very clearly focused and told about student lacking the practice in writing, because of which there are silly mistakes done by them, because of which they are lacking in time management, and obviously theory papers, if you absolutely do not practice, then trust me, in the examination your hands will freeze. So because of which I really want all of you to understand the pointer that whatever you study, make it a point that at least a part of it you write it. It is impossible like schooling to practice everything in writing. That we are not going to do, but definitely yes, we need to have some practice when it comes to theory papers. Second important point the institute highlighted was with regard to the conceptual clarity. We have seen in the recent times that the papers have become more practical oriented, more concepts are tested by applying them, the questions are based on the application, because of which it becomes very important for the student not only to mug up the definitions, mug up the provisions, that will not help. Because of which it becomes very important for all of you to not study just the overviewing of it. That should not happen. You have to actually get into in-depth understanding and realize you are in a professional course, because of which conceptual clarity has to happen. The institute has been increasing the level of the setting of questions because they want to test you on the application skills, and therefore you have to parallelly also improvise yourself, because of which you have to get in-depth knowledge of whatever you are studying. Clear? Then, one important point which was focused for theory papers and precisely for a paper like auditing was that students are lacking interpretation skills. That means you are not able to understand the question correctly. The question asks you something and you are giving some other answer. Here understand the key to success is reading the correct question in the correct direction, in the correct sense. Because most of the times you know the concept, you understand things very well, but because of the hurry or because of the kind of the fear that you have in you, the anxiety that you have developed, you will read the question quite fast with a view of finishing it, and you will end up reading the question wrongly. Don't just read one or two words in the question and come to a decision. Precisely the examples were given like for analytical procedures. Only by reading analytical word, do not start writing an answer to it. Look exactly to what the intention of the examiner is. Understand what is the question. Do not give generalized answer for anything. One more important point that they focused about was regarding the standards. So you have to understand standards when you write about. Look at the question very clearly. What exactly from the standard is being questioned? Usually, students are giving a generalized answer. And generalized answer just to give an overview of the entire standard in any question of that standard will not be correct. So, in any question of, for example, if a 580 question comes about written representation, you simply cannot write anything and everything of SA 580. You have to understand what clearly is the question of 580. Based on that, you have to frame an answer. So, overgeneralizing any answer just to write everything that you know about that standard will definitely not give you marks. So, you have to be very particular in deciding what you have to write. So, the interpretation skill has to be very well clear, and writing practice is a must. If you do not practice writing, trust me, I am repeatedly telling this, in the exam, you will not be able to come out of the situation where you can read the question and actually start writing. Your hand will actually freeze and you will not be able to start it. Okay? And in a paper like audit, where the language plays a very important role, you have to understand that only speaking to yourself, every time only reading the answers will not help. You have to have the interpretation skills with you. Got it? So because of which, see that all these pointers which have been highlighted by the institute, you have to actually take into consideration. This will definitely help you success. One very disappointing point which they highlighted was that in the examinations, the pass percentage for the audit paper is 11%. So understand that is really, really low. Okay, that means out of 100, only 11%, there is only 11 people pass an audit, which is like really bad. And the reason behind it is all of that the language becomes quite difficult because they try to mug up. Concepts not clear. They are studying only like for the sake of it, that means they are not getting into detailing of it. They are generalizing the standards, not getting the exact pointers behind it. Because of all this, there is a lack of preparation. And because of which, I really thought I should share all of this with you. Because in the examination, and you're at the verge of writing the examination, keep all these pointers in your mind. Even if you are preparing in the right direction, even then if you have missed out any of the points which I've highlighted now, see that you take into consideration and prepare accordingly. I guarantee these pointers will definitely help you to score much better than what you are actually planned. Never study anything only for the sake of reading it and just trying to mug up the points. We are not in school. We are not doing something only once and it's done. Whatever we study is for the professional course that we are seeking, for the practice that we are going to have in our future. For this, nothing can be volatile, nothing can be temporary. It has to have a long memory that we have, and because of which we have to study everything conceptually so that it is actually instilling in us properly. We cannot afford to learn today and forget tomorrow. All of this is going to be very important. So let us get into the root and understand the subject properly. Only then you'll be able to fare in the examination really well.